Coming up on NBA Today, it was the Ja and Steph show in San Francisco last night. Big Perk tells us why the Grizzlies should already book Ja's trip to the All-Star game. And bing bong, the Knicks knocked off the unbeaten Bulls. Are they the best team in New York? We'll discuss. Plus, LeBron debuted 18 years ago today, but will he play tonight? NBA Today starts right now. Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to NBA Today. I'm Malika Andrews. That's Kendrick Perkins, Chiney Agumake, Zach Lowe joining us in just a little bit. And yesterday, there were 3 unbeaten teams in the league. And today, there's just one, and that's the Utah Jazz. So let's see how we got here. Steph and the Warriors were one of the 3 teams until Ja Morant and the Grizzlies came to town. So let's take a look at the game. 2 of the top 3 scorers go head-to-head. Ja Morant, Steph Curry. Grizzlies down. Morant out. Catches fire from deep. That is Steph land, and he nails it. Morant showing off his range. Now, late in the second, Warriors up 7. Curry gets the handoff off of 1 foot. Take a look at this again. What a shot from Curry.
That's cheating.
And look at his face. Look at his face. Even he can't believe it a little bit there. The Warriors lead 55-45 at halftime. So fourth quarter, the Grizzlies are only down 2. Shot clock winding down. Morant once again steps in. He says, if you can do it, Steph, I can do it too. Grizzlies take the lead.
Take a picture with it.
Game tied at 98, 2 seconds left. Draymond Green gives it to Steph Curry. Oh, he misses the game-winning shot. So that's the 3rd game in a row. Curry hasn't scored in the 4th or OT. So we head to OT. 1 minute left. Grizzlies lead by 1. Morant one-on-one with Wiggins. Morant uses this sweet spin move to get free for the layup. What a great move. Look at this again.
Ooh.
Morant had 30 points. So the Grizzlies, they lead by 3 here.
Doing the cha-cha slide.
Got 10 seconds to play. Same score. Potential game. Can't quite make the game winner. Goes in and out, and Lee can't believe it. Shaking his head a little bit, and the Grizzlies hang on to win. There's your cha-cha. There's your cha-cha. So this is Steph Curry has been doing typical Steph things in the first 3 quarters, guys, of the season, averaging over 27 points and shooting 42% from 3. However, in the 4th quarter and overtime, he's only averaging 3 points per game while shooting 22% from the field and 23% from deep.
I think right now he's working too hard for his shots. And that's what I mean when I say this is a different team from last year. Last year, I don't think we had much choice, just the way our team was built. We're just too scattered. You know, we've always been a team that thrives in chaos, but I think we're a little too chaotic right now.
Like a lot of that's just how the teams are defending, and we can get a lot of good shots. And we were obviously, turning those into wins. Tonight it didn't, so obviously that's going to be something I look at in terms of how I can help down the stretch, but I'm not worried about that.
Got to my spots on the floor, and pretty much everybody know once I see a couple fall, it's a scary sight for a team. So.
Ja Morant has taken his game to another level this season. After averaging 18.5 points per game his first 2 years, Ja is putting up 30.5, tied with Steph Curry for the most in the league. And he's shooting better from the field, and he's the favorite to win Most Improved Player, according to Caesars Sportsbook. So we got a lot to break down here, but before we go there, I want to bring the best of Kendrick Perkins, unfiltered, a.k.a. at Kendrick Perkins. So what did you tweet after Ja and the Grizzlies won last night, Kendrick?
I said what I said. Look, Ja Morant will be an all-star this
and you said what?
And I'm not going to say it again. And I put carry the hell on. Not carry on, but carry the hell on. That means I'm dead serious about this.
Okay, but can I bribe you to talk about it just a little bit more? We'll carry the hell on with this conversation, absolutely. But why is he such a lock for the All-Star game at the guard position?
You know what? Forget the fact that he's averaging 30 points a night. Forget the fact that he's averaging almost 8 assists a night. And forget the fact that he's shooting 54% from the field, 40% from 3. Forget the fact that he's an athletic version of Russell Westbrook. Forget the fact that I told the world that he has the craftiness and skill set of Kyrie Irving. And forget the fact that he has the high IQ and basketball passing of Rajon Rondo. You know what? This kid is must-see TV. He is the Lamar Jackson of basketball. And I'm very disappointed right now. And I got to have a conversation, whether it's with Hillary, Andrea, Greg, Greg Dowling, Dave Roberts. He only have 4 ESPN games left this season.
Oh, so
we need more of him. We need more of him. And then on top of that, before it started, I said, you know what? He's going to win Most Improved this year. And now he's the favorite. Didn't you just say that?
All right, well, can you forget all of those things that Perk just asked you to forget about Janae? I'm sorry.
The kicks are clean, so we'll deal with it for a little while.
You can keep your feet on my table for right now.
Just for now. I will say, to bring it all together, the reason why he's extremely successful right now at this point, Perk, is because he's knocking down the three at the point where people have to respect it. And that's changed the game for him. We've always known that he's athletic and he is Lamar Jackson as highlights on every possession. But the reason that he's been able to unlock it is that consistency from three. And I think it's an interesting parallel with Steph Curry because that's what Steph does. He knocks down shots and that bends the defense. Ja's doing enough of that so that he can have a field day.
Well, and Ja told me just the other day that when he's playing against the Steph Currys, the Dame Lillard, he's like, I got to level up. That makes me want to get in my bag deep in there like the fries at the bottom of Steph.
Spiritual healing in here today.
All right, I want to bring in the host of the Low Post podcast and senior writer, Zach Lowe, to talk about this. Zach, I know your feet aren't up on the table, but your weekly 10 Things column dropped today, and Ja Morant got top billing. Why?
I just love Ja Morant. The guy is unbelievable. In Ja Morant's third NBA game, he blocked Kyrie Irving right in his face at the buzzer of regulation and talked trash to everybody in sight. And that's when you knew this guy's got it. Whatever it is, the thing that galvanizes teammates, the thing that want to make people play with you and play hard, he's got it. And that shows through in the way he plays. For a guy who's so fast, one of the fastest players in the NBA, one of the things that's notable to me about Ja is that he slows down. He gives his teammates on fast breaks time to catch up to him, hits a trailer for a three, a trailer with the driving lane. On the pick and roll, he's not just going straight up and down. He slows down, he looks around, he knows where all his teammates are. He'll even get off the ball. Dylan Brooks, I know you're hurt, but you want to cook? Cook. Desmond Bane, you want to cook? Jaren Jackson, you want to cook? I'll give you the ball. I'll cut. I'm so fast. I'll cut baseline. I'll dunk on somebody as a backdoor cutter. He's the kind of guy that you want to play with. And that's I love Ja Morant.
Well, look at Zach. I see you diving in. Oh, Zach. I'm appalled.
Zach, don't make me address you like the numbers on a house.
I love it. So on the flip side of that game, he did Steph things right up until the fourth quarter. So 0 points in 3 straight games. Janae, what do the Warriors need to do to get him going in the fourth?
If there is one player that I am not concerned about with shooting, it is Stephen Curry. I don't think you do too much. Maybe you realize recently there has been a trend where he has not been able to convert. So guess what? You're just a little bit more intentional coming out of that third quarter timeout saying, all right, we're getting Steph going. And everyone will bend to his will. Also, I'm sure he probably hears us. He's going to go off. This is just the universe sort of giving us a little bit of an aberration.
No, this is when you're missing that next superstar, right? This is when you need Klay Thompson because all of the attention in the fourth quarter, especially when the game get close, goes on to Steph Curry. We saw what Memphis did last night. They started trapping him and put 2 people on the ball. If you want to beat a team, guess what? We always used to say, we're not going to let this superstar beat us. The other ones have to hang up 20. And the Memphis did that last night. I mean, and they made Steph take tough contested shots.
Well, then from one formerly unbeaten team to another, the Bulls were another one of those undefeateds before the Knicks bing-bonged into Chicago. Can I get a bing-bong? Bing-bong. Joakim Noah night in the United Center late in the second quarter. Alex Caruso. Look at this. Finds Zach LaVine who slams it down. Caruso to LaVine. That's some nice chemistry there.
That was pretty.
And look, they both get the little vision goggles to celebrate. So the Bulls would head into half down 4. Third quarter, Knicks still leading. Kemba Walker here. Uses the screen and fires and hits. Knicks up 7 now. With the Knicks up 8, Julius Randle throws it ahead to RJ Barrett. A little crafty move, spinning inside. Tough finish plus the foul. 20 points for Barrett on the night. So under a minute left in the game. Bulls down 6. Nikola Vucevic. You bet he hits that. The Bulls down just 3 now. And they like it. 10 seconds to go. LaVine, he's going all the way to the rack for a dunk. Now the Bulls are just down by 1.
Eyes can't
So watch this. Knicks inbound play. Oh, DeMar DeRozan, he saves it. No, it's ruled out of bounds. DeRozan's toe. Look at it here. Just barely on the line. Kevin Durant knows how he feels, man. The Bulls, they almost got a turnover. So 5 seconds left. Julius Randle, missed the first free throw. Missed the second free throw. And look at his face. He can't believe it that he missed both. So final seconds for Chicago. DeRozan coming up here. Tries it. Air ball. Knicks hang on to win 104-103. So Perk. We got to go back to your Twitter. You had some thoughts, some late night thoughts about this game.
Run it back. That damn Tibbs got the Knicks looking like the best basketball team in New York.
Ooh.
Something about the culture right now hit different. Carry the hell on.
And it's the hell on. It's not just carry on. He was like, I'm firm on this one. So best team in New York?
I will agree for you in the moment, right? Right now, if the Knicks and Nets are playing, I'm going with the Knicks. But let's be real here. I think that the Nets are playing with house money. These guys that they have, Kevin Durant, James Harden, even LaMarcus Aldridge showed flashes. When push comes to shove, they're going to be capable of turning things on. And so I don't want to say, they are the best. Like, in the moment they are, we have to see how the season ebbs and flows. But I do think that we do need to put some respect on the Chicago Bulls. Big facts. Defensively and offensively. Like, diversifying their personnel on the perimeter, knowing that Zach LaVine is that guy. But then also, they have a very switchable team, Perk. Like, everyone can guard everyone, and they're playing intense. That's why I love the little goggle signals. Like, that's a team that loves each other. You know what I'm saying?
So we get to do that to each other?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
No, I'm going to keep rolling.
Okay.
I'm going to keep rolling.
You're going to roll the hell on.
Look, we already know what Kevin Durant and James Harden are capable of doing. KD is the best scorer on the damn planet. I get that. But when we're talking about team, we're talking about culture.
Teams?
We're talking about identity. The Knicks have identity. We saw the score last night. It was 104-103. Julius Randle struggled again in Chicago, and the Knicks won the game because they hang their hats on the defensive end. When you have a guy like Evan Fournier fighting to get up over screens, cracking back, getting in the trenches, taking charges, you got Taj Gibson, who is about the same age as me, he's still playing, out there sliding his puppies, right? You have guys, Tibbs have guys so committed on the defensive end that were never known for defense. So when I'm looking at a team, I'm looking at culture. And right now, what do the Nets lack? Culture.
I agree. I think that right now, yes, you look at the Knicks, they are the better team, the more complete team, the team that has the real buy-in. I just think this version of the Nets is not the team that we will see finish the season.
Absolutely, and it's only a handful of games in. Our friend Stan Van Gundy tweeted this morning, right? Everyone who's saying everyone who's the greatest right now and everyone's the worst right now, it's all probably going to shake itself out, maybe a little more.
Come out and stand my faith and gospel.
So let's play on your faith and gospel then. Janae said right now she would be taking the Knicks, but wants to see how the season plays out. So any 7-game series, Perk, who are you taking? Battle in New York.
If I'm going right now, I'm going with the New York Knicks. And there's no disrespect to Kevin Durant, but without Kyrie Irving, without the Nets lack toughness, right? They don't have that toughness in the interior. The Knicks have that. And then they have a guy by the name of Derrick Rose that could come in off the bench and show you flashes of his old MVP self. And then you add a Kemba Walker in there with Julius Randle giving you, the Knicks have the more complete team.
Zach Lowe, are you hearing all of this? Are you hearing what these folks are saying?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Of course I'm hearing it. The Knicks are awesome. They're 4-1. They're killing people. But look, this is very simple. If James Harden is James Harden, this is a non-discussion. With or without Kyrie Irving, the Nets are winning that series. Bing bong, it's over. If James Harden is the player he's been for the first 5 games of the season, which is a turnover machine, no free throws, flailing around just puking up garbage trying to get calls, missing shots, not getting to the rim, walking around on defense like a Halloween zombie, then it's going to be the Knicks in 7 games. It all comes down to Harden. The Nets were a big 3. Right now they're a big one. The Knicks can beat a big one. They can't beat Brooklyn's big two.
You see, this is why I have a problem with, right? Because when it comes down to talking about the Lakers and their struggles, early struggles, we're quick to write them off. But when it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets, all of a sudden they're going to figure it out when the Lakers have more championship experience, right? And I'm not trying to move the goalposts. I'm just talking about both favorites that's supposed to come out of the conference. We have a different type of energy when it comes to the Lakers than when it comes to the Nets. When it comes to the Nets, it's
What did I say about the Lakers?
No, I'm saying
the Lakers.
Relax, Zach. I'm just telling you. I'm talking to the world, not you specifically. You all right with me today? Listen.
Today.
What I'm saying is that the Nets are showing us who they are. And you have, in order to win the championship, you have to have defensive-minded people on your team. I'm not taking anything from Kevin Durant or James Harden, but their interior is weak in the inside.
I can't wait to have this same conversation back in April. This is going to be so much fun. The Knicks are back in action tomorrow against New Orleans, against the Pelicans, while the moment
I'm telling you, Trey's been tearing it up
He's
right
been balling.
now.
It's been really impressive. All right, top tomfoolery. The Jazz in Houston. We got Joe Ingles.
Oh.
Check out Eric Paschall pretending to go out and contest.
Okay, at least he made it.
The Jazz moved on. They're 4-0. The only unbeaten team left in the league.
And don't get no respect
It's
whatsoever.
true. We should talk about them a
I
little
talk
bit more.
about them a lot. I do.
I mean, that's pretty. I like Joe.
And the ball.
I like
I'm just saying.
Well, what do you want to say? You want to talk about it? What do you want to say?
I'm just saying they could be the dark horse to come out of the West.
Oh, all right. Dark horse to come out of the West. So who's the dark horse to come out of the East?
No, Miami.
Okay.
Miami is actually
Miami.
Love that.
Dark horse to come out of. I mean, they've been looking like they're clicking. Kyle Lowry. I mean, I like it. All right, coming up on NBA Today, we've got your LeBron injury update, and also it was 18 years.
To play in the NBA, I want to be one of the greats.
There is the man of the hour in probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport. LeBron James' first shot is good. It didn't take him too long. Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam.
This is getting out of control. He's not disappointing me, I'm telling you right now.
25 points, 9 assists.
He's going to be a great player in this league.
LeBron made his debut on this date 18 years ago, and since then he's become the third leading scorer in NBA history behind only Kareem and Karl Malone. Here are all the buckets he has scored throughout his career, and if he stays healthy, he's likely to pass Malone later this season. Look at that. It's incredible.
It's crazy. He's still going. We came in the same year. I just started my second career.
I mean, did your shot chart look
But it didn't look close to that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was close. All right, back with Perk, Chene, and Zach Lowe's coming in soon. LeBron is a game-time decision to play tonight against the Cavaliers per Frank Vogel, but he has had a very memorable career. And I want to know from each of you what your favorite LeBron moment was over the course of his career. And I know it's still going. I know it's not over yet, but Perk, I'll start with you.
I know it's a lot, but I'm going to go with 2006 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5, right, against the Detroit Pistons. This was LeBron James' coming out party. This is when he took over the NBA as the best player. 25 straight points in the fourth quarter, going against one of the stingiest defenses ever in the game of basketball, and he dominated them in great fashion.
And my favorite moment from LeBron James's career is probably the photo. And real hoopers, everyone knows exactly what that photo is, right? We think, sort of looking at it, it was a lob. Actually, it was sort of a bounce back by D-Wade. This moment to me just solidified, I want to run and play at a high level. That nice little bounce. A lot of people think it was like him throwing it in, but no, that's even harder level of difficulty. And we got the best photo ever. Now every two people playing on a court want to recreate that.
Absolutely, like this. Hey, Zach Lowe, what's your favorite moment?
Nobody picked the block? How could nobody pick the block? Nobody picked Game 6 in Boston in 2012?
Me too.
No, I'm not. I'm not picking either. I'm going under the radar. Everybody remembers Ray Allen's shot to tie Game 6 of the 2013 Finals. What people don't remember is the Heat going into that fourth quarter down by 10, facing a home loss, a finals loss where they're going to be branded a disappointment, a one-trick pony. And LeBron James scored or assisted on 17 straight points and 29 of Miami's 38 points over the rest of the game to come back and win in overtime. If you take 15 minutes and watch that, it's one of the great sustained examples of sports excellence ever. It's post-ups, it's pick and rolls, it's passing, it's jump shots, it's fast breaks, and his defense, my God, peak LeBron on defense was everywhere. Everywhere. Go back and watch that 17 minutes of basketball. It's incredible. So I'm going with that because it's a little under the radar.
Well, this Perk and Zach bromance might be replacing RJ and Perk, and I like it. All right, well, since Zach brought it up, I'll mention it. Let's take a look at the block. Let's just do it. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite, but it's certainly the most memorable. My family was in the building that night. My goodness. I mean, that belongs on posters. That. I mean, incredible. Cleveland, that one was for you. That one was special. Shout out to the Queen, Doris Burke. All right. Hey, Big Perk. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so now that we're over at the big LED board, I'm going to debut a new segment just for you, my friend.
I got a segment. I got a segment.
Let's get it. Can you tell us about this segment?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you all about it. Look, let's get it, right? I'm honoring and giving flowers to the guys that are getting it out the trenches, getting it out the mud, that's doing things that don't show up in the stat sheet. If you cute and sassy, then damn it, this ain't for you.
All right.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's start it off.
Mitchell Robinson and Joel Embiid.
You see him, huh? He's fighting Joel Embiid, takes an elbow. He don't give up. I'm going to get this ball. He gets the jump ball. He goes to the center, then he wins it. Look at him battling the big fella.
Ooh.
Look, you can't touch it. This is coach's porn right here. This is what you want to see right here. You see him battling this. Look at it. That's what I'm talking about.
And then flailed around and dropped the ball and no call. And when there was no call, a single tear of joy just streamed down my face. I was so happy. But Trey is a little bit of a different case. Trey has a lot of stuff that looks like he's trying to get fouls. That's just real basketball. Like when he goes around a screen, he likes to slow down. And sometimes guys run into him. That's not his fault. He's slowing down to read the floor, see what defender makes a mistake, see what passes open up, or see if he's to shoot his floater. That's real basketball. If you run into him from behind, that's a foul. That's your fault. Some of the other stuff needs to be legislated out of the game. Look, there are going to be hiccups. It's possible that officials are going overboard right now, but overall, this is definitely good for the NBA, and the players are just going to have to adjust.
What do you think, Perk?
I mean, look, I love the rule change, right? I think it's great for basketball. Now the older generation they don't have a reason to call us soft. The league is getting back to that point. But look, Zach, so what you was trying to describe is Trae Young in the pick and roll is keeping the guy on his hip, snaking action or whatever the case may be. But sometimes he is causing these fouls. And look, I'm a huge fan of Trae Young, right? I'm a huge fan of him. But some of these calls are just not fouls, and he's just going to have to fight through it, which he's doing a great job of doing. It's not like he's having a drop-off like James Harden. The man is still putting up 26, 27 points a night, so he'll be fine. I mean, he was just frustrated that, they took an L last night. The Wiz are for real right now.
What are you seeing there, Chiney?
And whereas, James Harden might be still dealing with that lingering hamstring and Trae Young is coming in fresh. Okay, no, I know, but hamstrings are difficult. We know this, Perk, all right? I see this as normal evolution, right? Because the last few years, we've been talking about how most teams and the league overall are scoring so many points, and that's largely due to these rule changes that protect the shooters. Now, as posts, we felt like we've been just put in a box. The hot stove rule was very difficult. You know that, Perk, right? We were taught, in our preseason meetings, you touch a perimeter defender outside of three or outside of the paint once, you can't touch them again until they hit the paint. That made it almost impossible to defend. As a post player, I'd switch out there and I'm like, man, I touch you once just to see where you're at, and now I can't touch you at all again. I think this rule is just trying to bring a little bit more into balance.
Right, so you said one tier or two tiers like Zach when you saw this start to...
Zach is not shedding no damn tear.
I know.
I mean, you not. Just stop it, Zach. You're not crying over nothing, okay?
Zach?
Of joy, tears of joy. That's what I'm saying. Like the game, there was no bogus foul. It just, the game kept going. There was no call, and James Harden was left to flail around to nobody. It was great.
Well, and that's what this rule intended to do. Zach, as you know, when the league explained this to reporters, it was to try to balance out, they said, the competitiveness on offense and defense. The new rules are having an impact across the league this season. Teams are averaging just 20 free throw attempts per game thus far, which would be the fewest in any season in NBA history. But it's time for Team Goals, brought to you by NerdWallet Atlanta. Beat the 76ers in last season's Eastern Conference Finals. It was Game 7 of the series that started the Ben Simmons saga in Philadelphia. Simmons remains out of the Sixers lineup as he is mentally unable to play. And Simmons was at Philadelphia's shoot-around yesterday ahead of their win versus the Pistons. The Sixers, though, are 3-2 without him. So for more on Ben Simmons, we're joined now by ESPN NBA reporter Tim Bontemps. Tim, Simmons was at shoot-around yesterday. Are we any closer to seeing him return to action on the court?
No, Malik, I don't think we are. You know, he obviously was at shoot-around, like you said, yesterday, and he was at the facility the past few days before that, as Philadelphia was in Oklahoma City and then in New York for games against the Thunder and the Knicks earlier this week. But as of now, Ben Simmons is still out indefinitely for personal reasons, and it seems like that's going to be the case going forward. Now, as you said, the Sixers are playing the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow. It would be rather incredible if Ben Simmons was making his debut this season in that game, given that this all started, like you said, when he passed up that dunk with 3.5 minutes to go in Game 7 against the Hawks, and Philadelphia ultimately went on to lose that game and the series. But for as juicy of a storyline as that would be, I don't think we're going to get it tomorrow, and we're still in sort of a holding pattern waiting to see when or if Ben Simmons is going to be back on the court with his teammates.
Okay, interesting. So Joel Embiid, he has been hobbled since the opener, but did go for 30 and 18 last night. How is his knee feeling today?
I mean, look, Malika, this is kind of an annual thing with Joel Embiid, right? He tends to be questionable and a game-time decision for a lot of games, and that's been the case for each of the past 4 games Philadelphia has played. Ever since the opening quarter of the season in New Orleans, when he banged into Jonas Valanciunas' knee. Now, you see on this play here, when he drove to the rim and did that pump fake and dunk last night, he grimaced coming back down the court. And he's talked at times about how this is something he's going to have to play through. Now, obviously, with Ben Simmons already out, Philadelphia needs Joel Embiid playing at an MVP level like he was against the Pistons for them to win games. But as Joel himself said last night, you know, if they're struggling to beat a team like the Pistons, they're going to have a lot of trouble beating teams like the Knicks, who obviously blew them out the other day, and a team like the Hawks, who they're trying to compete with in the playoff picture tomorrow at home. So this is something they're going to have to monitor going forward, and his health is obviously critical to their chances of trying to survive without Ben.
Absolutely early days, but they need to be playing the long game here. Tim, thank you so much for joining us. The Sixers host the Hawks tomorrow. So here are the Eastern standings through the first 10 days of the season. Some surprising teams. The top early on, the Knicks, the Hornets, the Bulls, the Wizards. Perk, you wanted to talk about the Wizards? Just all with one loss for all of them. And teams like the Sixers and Nets outside of the top 8. What makes you guys think of that? What do you think?
Look at the top 3, Knicks, Hornets, and Bulls. And I love that you can improve in the offseason, really work individually as a player, but collectively get good pieces. That surprises me, but in a good way. Tears of joy, right?
You know what I like about it is that all these teams, right, when you look at a team like the Wizards and you look at a team like the Cavaliers, nobody talked about them, including myself, right? And the Wizards, they have a team. Mm-hmm. They have a team, and they playing with passion. And a lot of them playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Well, and you know it can get a little bit dangerous when people are playing with a chip on their shoulder. And speaking of, coming up, the reigning Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball, is joining NBA today. So we will be